All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a super special show for you today. We have the Barber, that guy, and whoever stops by, Mr. Jim and yeah, I just butchered his name. Jesus.
Cut. Take two.
Take two.
Take two.
Anagnos.
Give me that.
Anagnos. Look, he's looking at me like he's gonna kill me.
No.
Anagnos. Mr. Anagnos. Mr. Anagnos.
You want my real name too?
Dimitrios. Mr. Dimitrios Anagnos.
I was about to say Dimitrios Johnson. Hey, it could be the last generation of Dimitrios Johnson. You never know.
He got named after me.
There you go, buddy. That's right.
There you go.
Jim's a little older,
Damn
just
right.
slightly by a year.
Or two. But we're not counting.
We're not counting.
2, 3, 4,
So,
a lot of years.
yeah.
Jim, how's your week been?
Outstanding. It's been outstanding, and appreciate it. How about you?
Good. Hey,
See you repping Cleveland.
of course.
He stay repping Cleveland.
Always.
That boy just
I love you.
he died Cleveland. That boy is just so Ohio. It's
Die
not even
hard.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good, man.
I have the feeling he brought that cold weather down here.
Loyalty, you know.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
We all loyal.
It's
He knows I'm a dead up Chicago fan, and I don't let go of that.
The Bears.
The Bears.
I got it. The
Hey,
Bears.
come
But you're
on
not
now.
repping.
That's all right, man.
That's
I rep
right.
here. Yeah, I am repping. Look at my keychain. My keychain got
There's
the
only-
Cubs over there. Come
I
on,
keep
bro.
telling him there's only 3 things that happened. The best thing that ever happened to the Bears
Let's
is
hear it.
Mike Decker. What's the linebacker? Both linebackers. Urlacher.
Singletary.
Oh yeah, let me
Mike
say.
Singletary. Urlacher.
Urlacher. And now they got
And the fridge, bro.
and now they got what you call it? One with the Raiders.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack.
You
Yeah.
can't forget Sweetness. Can't forget.
Yeah, you can't.
Walter
Man.
Payton.
He
I
was
mean,
a-
I
he
know
was-
the refrigerator, but I'm like, come on,
Come on,
it just
man. The fridge was the man.
Yeah,
dog.
but that
He was
one-
the man.
it was just one brother.
But
back
you,
then.
but you
Come
know
on,
what?
man.
That one brother opened the door for many brothers on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So you
It was
gotta,
crazy, man.
you gotta give it to him, man. This is like
Well, how tall he was? Like 6'9" or something.
7,
like
6,
Tall
yeah.
enough.
He was like 360 pounds, man. That dude was huge.
He was tall enough. Yeah, the fridge was definitely not empty.
Yeah,
It was full. It was food falling out of that.
He's a
By-
big boy, let me
that.
tell
By
you.
far.
With all due respect, if the fridge is listening or watching.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
So let's do this, Jim. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your association with these 2 crazy guys on these chairs over here, and
Absolutely.
just give us a little bit of info.
Hell no.
He's a heel.
Hell no.
Absolutely.
I don't got no influence with this.
Born Dimitrios Anagnos.
Sound like some kind of Greek god.
Mm-hmm. And
Dimitrios.
my friends call me Jim because it's the English translation of Dimitrios.
Really?
Absolutely.
Very simple.
So
And I bet a
can-
lot of people they know that fun fact right there.
They do.
I didn't know that fun fact, and I train her.
They do now after
They
Well,
do.
alrighty
this
then.
episode. So
They do. Born in Toronto, Canada.
Canadian.
Of Greek descent. All of my family is from Greece, from Sparta, Greece.
Nice.
Had to shout out to Sparta, King Leonidas.
you have
Oh,
to.
got a shout out to my family who I love. My lovely wife Justine, my son Ethan, who's at the U.
Nice.
Go E.
Boop.
My
You.
lovely
That's
daughter
right.
Abigail, who's at home doing her homework. She better be. Yeah. So Extreme Velocity Martial Arts. That's the martial arts academy
Yes.
that I'm very blessed and fortunate to be a part of.
And
Yes,
and
yes.
it's an honor for me to call my ground games over there.
Yes.
It is an honor for me to call my ground games over there.
So that was where you began. So
That's where my journey
that
began.
was his journey. Actually, your journey began in a little old gym.
No,
in
but let's
your-
talk. Let's talk realistically. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have no part of experience whatsoever. Only just being a.
That's where it began. Though.
Regular guy.
That's where your curiosity began, and then this young man took you.
What he took care of me though. He literally welcomed me with welcome arms. You know what I'm saying? Open arms, and told me, dude, this is your place. And ever since, man. And it's all a circle though, cause
Hi.
yeah, boom, boom, left for a little bit, but look where I'm at. I still be back there again on the weekends, at nights, putting work in.
So how long you been there at Extreme? And I know that at some point you left and then came back.
Yeah, at that particular location, I think this is the 6th year at that particular location.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's again Martial Arts Academy for kids and adults as well. So we have 2 different programs, and I would say I'm extremely fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity to be involved in so many people's lives.
That's awesome.
That for me is probably the most important thing, the most blessed thing that I can say about what I'm doing. And when they talk about the old cliche, find something that you love to do and do
and
it.
You never work, yeah.
Yeah. So, according to my wife, I don't work. I just play with kids. Shout out, baby.
Oh man, hey, but let me tell you this: you got a great program.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got a great program because a lot of those kids, I seen them and I met them, and even a couple of them, I cut their hair, and great discipline. Great discipline.
We've had a good growth with the adult program as well. So.
I seen the way he worked with the kids though, the way that he teach them, and not just like always running as a class, but he make it fun. He make it interesting for the kids. Make sure they always want to come back, or Mr. Jim, Instructor Jim, and they what, and sometimes I see him because they so shocked of what he's teaching them. So, man, but great program though. I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I owe everything I am as an instructor to the kids, and they don't know, but they teach me so much more than they could possibly even realize. So, the kids and striving to be better for them,
Nice.
and their trust in me, which they give, and kids are, if they believe that what you're saying and what you're doing is in their best interest, then they'll
give everything.
Everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, blessed.
And you got
sure.
how many kids you got there now?
That you know of.
Yeah. Careful now. We're over 100. Over 100.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
There's a proud daddy boy.
He going biblical.
Yeah.
Over 100.
Yep.
Yeah, 100 kids.
All mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely seen you work with them when I did the commercial for the gym and everything, and I've seen the interaction and your little powwow circles that you do, and you stay like super positive with them, and I think that's really super impactful, and especially in that particular age group because they're so impressionable.
Yeah.
So and you do it well.
So hard to get distracted too, though. You know what I'm saying? And like he got their attention because I seen him on the classes, and it's impressive what Jim can do with just himself with like 15, 20 kids.
And what's your discipline, and where are you at in your discipline?
I originally started with Taekwondo. That's originally got my black belt in Taekwondo.
Nice.
And started teaching Taekwondo. And when you're a single guy, your mindset, your values, your priorities are one thing. And then when you get married, when you have children, things change. It's kind of what happened with me is, I went from teaching Taekwondo as a single guy, got married and had children, and then, my goals for them as it related to martial arts somewhat changed. And so that's why I decided to kind of broaden the scope of what I teach and teach mixed martial arts. I didn't want to be restricted by one discipline and only being able to teach those techniques.
Especially in today's is the martial arts game is just so unique, versus back then, which was just style versus style.
It's crazy.
Now it's just, I think the best thing they did with martial arts is take the scientific aspect of everything that works and just got rid of all the wasteful movements and
right.
Yeah.
So right. Yeah. I think there's a place for everything, to be taught. One of the things specifically, so for example, when I was a Taekwondo instructor, teaching pumses or katas, a series of choreographed steps was something that was very big. But because the program, I only had the kids for a limited amount of time,
right.
I thought, what is actually the most important thing? If we're talking about self-defense and character development, So that's one thing that I kind of pulled back from, is teaching those things, because I wanted to make sure that the kids had a very well-rounded education as it came to martial arts, and just wasn't enough time to do some of the other things that we had done within that discipline in the past.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I think that's just the way to go when you want them to learn offense and defense, because in most martial arts it's defensive movement, which means you're either moving back or and it's not really more so of a forward movement. As opposed to what we teach over there now, which is Muay Thai, which is Taekwondo, or variations of the Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, which are all a lot of forward motion styles. And
I would say probably the one constant that has stuck with me from the beginning is that when the best situation is preventative. If you can prevent something from happening. So beyond the kicks and the punches and the blocks and things like that is character, is confidence, is self-empowering the kids. Because when you walk with an air of confidence, when you feel good about yourself, you radiate that out to others. And a lot of times, bullies pick their targets based on weaknesses and based on body language. So the one constant has been that, helping the children basically believe in themselves, helping the children understand that each and every one of them has very special gifts and powers deep beneath them, and helping them become the best they could be. Not the best compared to another person, but their best. Awesome. So that's kind of, the whole spiritual aspect of martial arts has stayed.
And you're also involved in the community, doing community events and things of that nature as well. So.
Absolutely. Anytime we can get the opportunity to get out there and help the community, whether it be a charitable event or whatever the case may be, we're always ready, willing, and able to do that, because where are you at without your community?
Nice. So now let's get to the real raw dog stuff. Like, where are you from? What brought you to your martial arts?
Yeah, absolutely.
What brought you to that lifestyle in general?
Yep.
You started watching Blood Sports, and that's it.
Oh man, I was already into it by that time. I remember my uncle. I was 5 or 6 years old, and this is in the 70s. So my uncle took me to a Bruce Lee movie in the theater, and that was it. Like many other guys.
That's all it took. Bruce Lee.
That was it, man.
Get down on it.
I remember going home and just jumping off furniture and trying to do kicks and spin kicks and beating up pillows and at home
breaking shit around the house.
Boy, what you doing?
Cutting up my mom's brooms to make nunchucks. Yeah.
Did your mom beat you with those nunchucks, man?
How many brooms did you actually just?
Is mom watching? Is mom watching? Do I gotta come clean?
She might be.
That's awesome.
She might be, bro.
Yeah. So that was it. That movie. Unfortunately, during my childhood, both my parents worked quite a bit, and we didn't really have a tremendous amount of money, so martial arts really wasn't an option because of timing and financially to some degree. So I really didn't start officially training until I was about 17 or 18.
Right.
Until I could, until I had a car and made money and could kind of do my own thing.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it just seems like throughout that time you just stuck with it. I mean, obviously you're a high-end black belt and you know your stuff. We've seen you work at the gym.
Appreciate
quite
that.
well.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah. So Bruce Lee. The man.
Bruce Lee.
That's the man. Yeah, that's the man
So I'm pretty sure you've seen the Ip Man movies.
Ip Man, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a fourth one in the movie theaters right now.
Is it really?
Ip Man 4. It's in the movie theaters right now.
Yeah, they could keep going because anything Bruce Lee, I'm in it. I'm watching.
He actually supposedly in that movie he's actually there. They got a look in Bruce Lee in that movie. He actually looked. I saw the scene. I mean, I didn't see the movie, but I saw in the trailer.
Trailers and stuff. Yeah.
The kid looked like Bruce Lee when he moving doing the stands, and he looked like Bruce Lee.
Hey, you remember Bruce Lee's competitor back in the 70s when they were doing the movies? Bruce Lee.
Wow. Yeah.
No way.
He was the imitation Bruce Lee.
Great. Man.
Yup.
He looked nothing like him, by the way.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing like him. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but one of the most movies that I not enjoy watching, Bruce Leroy.
Oh, Bruce.
It's the most dumbest,
stupidest.
You
might have some fans out there. Was it The Last Dragon? Was it?
I don't know. Wherever that dumb looking dude, the villain, one with the afro, whatever. What are you doing, Bruce Leroy? I am the. Get your goofy looking ass out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, so you're okay with modifying a style and like integration? And, I mean, I know there's a lot of hardcores that are like, don't mix, don't.
Sure. Well, it's somewhat ironic because martial arts is supposed to be something that opens your mind, expands your mind, allows you to think about different things. And it kind of, one of the things that surprised me while I was coming up in my early training was that a lot of martial arts instructors were very closed-minded. They focused on their discipline. They focused on promoting their discipline and almost kind of dissing other disciplines. It was almost like a competition about, don't do this discipline, mine is better, or whatever the case may be. So for me, it wasn't about promoting the discipline. For me, it was about how can I best help my students achieve their goals. Gotcha. And the disciplines are tools. They're just tools to be used. True. So, with that being said, it was just about looking at different types of problems. So for example, if someone's trying to hurt someone else, obviously that's a problem. Where does the fight go? Is it on your feet? Is it to the ground? And you can't depend on one style. So you have to look to modify various disciplines and pull what you feel is some of the better solutions to deal with those. So I use for me, it really doesn't matter where it came from, what discipline it came from. Right. If it suits the student and if it can help the student, then we use it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Hey, listen, that's simplicity, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching a video.
Hey, that's a sign that said, "Keep it simple, stupid."
Yeah.
Well, hey, there was a video that I was watching. It was actually a Joe Rogan show, and.
That's a good podcast. Shout out to Joe if
Bravo,
you have any openings in your podcast.
Right,
yeah,
Joe.
Right.
Come on, Joe.
Eddie Bravo was talking to Hicks and Gracie and showing Hicks and Gracie why he kind of stepped away from the no-gi and stepped away from the gi and started focusing really on the no-gi. And the example and just the stuff that he was showing Hickson, like the look on Hickson's face was like, okay. But it kind of made sense. You don't want to be like traditional in a sport where it's just changing.
Right.
Right. MMA and jiu-jitsu are two different things.
Yeah. You don't want to be traditional to a fault. Right?
Correct.
To the point where it ends up being counterproductive. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
But that's definitely an agreement. So, but I mean, outside of that, so you got family, you got kids, you're running the gym there. What are you looking forward to as far as the gym is concerned, and what direction do you want to take it in? You're looking to expand. You're looking to stay simple.
So, in a perfect world, I'd like to be able to help as many people as possible achieve their goals. That's in a perfect world. Teaching it's a passion for me. A lot of times when I'm teaching class, a lot of parents will say, well, why don't you get some help? You're teaching all the classes, get some help. So you don't have to work so hard. But I'm like, I don't need any help teaching. That's what I love doing.
Right.
If anyone wants to volunteer to do some bookkeeping for me or take care of the other administrative responsibilities, they can come.
We can find something for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, but to answer your question, it's really just trying to reach out and positively be an influence on as many people's lives as possible, using martial arts as a tool to help them achieve their goals. That's the goal. I want to, teaching every class is what I live for, and that's what I love to do. So if we get this cloning thing down, then maybe I could get cloned.
This segment brought to you by Noel Barbershop. Noel Barbershop. We are located in 3384 West Hillsborough Boulevard. Now, I tell you this, we open 7 days a week, even on Sundays from 12 to 5. We got early bird seniors from 9 to 12, only $7. After that, you are fucked because you got to pay $15 after the work, okay? So, other than that, another sponsored by the guy right here, Extreme Velocity, Mixed Martial Arts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
And by the way, I'm not just here on the podcast. I'm a customer. I'm a patron of this fine barber
establishment.
Look at this man.
And
look at that cut.
I got him looking so pretty.
I mean, the fade speaks for itself.
I'm just saying, wifey, if you look at it right now, the magics are right here.
Right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
The hands.
Right there. Absolutely.
And of course, I'm that guy that just talks shit to him while he's getting the cut, because that's what
that's
I do.
it.
Yep.
That's it.
This is a home away from home for sure.
Buddy.
I know. Hey, but let me tell you that. Now let's go to this segment, Fight Talk.
Oh shoot!
Now, you guys? Let's start it. Well, first of all, I want to start off with the boxing one.
Tyson?
Yeah, let's go back to Tyson.
Let's go back
to Tyson Fury, because from my understanding, from what I know, Wilder, he 40 fights, and he always walked with that damn shield, right?
41 fights.
41. Okay.
I mean, no, he has 42 fights. 41 with knockout.
Okay. Now let me tell you this: he walked with the damn same costume.
He does.
With white.
He does.
Right.
This one,
It's 40 pounds.
Yeah, but let me tell you this:
pounds.
so 41 times he walked with that thing. Now you get knocked out the first time, you blame on the car.
Well, he blamed everybody. He blamed the suit. He
dude.
blamed his coach. He blamed.
It don't make no sense if you walk with the same thing 40 times, and the one you get knocked out, you blame it on that because it was too heavy.
That's right.
Bro, it don't make no sense to me, bro.
But you know, in an article that he did, I think it was like a month before, accordingly, he was running around with a 40-pound vest on, jogging and running. And so how does that affect you?
It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Well, we did get a lot of different reports on what had happened. I mean, I heard one on the internet that had said it was a new costume, and he had not tried it on until the night before, and that was the first time.
But it weighed the same thing, though.
I wasn't sure.
40 pounds.
Right.
If he's jogging 40-pound vest, it means that he don't got no problem walking 2 minutes to the ring.
Right. I think it's all irrelevant
You know,
anyway. I think it's irrelevant anyway. He's a professional fighter.
He should be taking the
I mean,
responsibility.
even though supposedly he didn't went as the usual weight that he fights.
He was 19 pounds heavier, I think. He was 231 when he walked in.
He usually go in at like 212, 215 around there. So this time he's supposedly gaining like another 30 or whatever. And all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I just don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. Take it like a man.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Take it like a man.
Obviously. But all in all, you look at the situation, and it really wasn't what we thought it would be, right? A lot of people had called the fight going a different way. Yeah. But Tyson took him to school.
Whoever listened to me and took that bet, you're welcome, and you owe me at least 3% of your fucking purchase, though. Tell you that.
I would get 5%.
I'm not, you know me, I'm a very simple guy, you know what I mean? I'm not greedy.
The bets were high for that fight. They were super high.
You know what? With my coworker Antonio, he got the whole my bookie or whatever. So I told him, I said, hey, how much is to go with Fury though? And the odds was not too.
They weren't far apart, but they were high.
Not really, but we tried we tried with some small, $150. We only was winning back $53.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so how about if I still pick him and pick the round? And that was the biggest odd. If you pick Fury plus the round, I was like, wow, that's how close
versus the whole entire fight.
Yeah, because the way that I wanted to pick him, I wanted to pick Fury on decision, going the whole way. But then, you know what I'm saying, I didn't pick it by you know what I mean, by knockout on the 7. Whoever picked knockout by the 7 or 8, dude, you hit jackpot.
Yeah. Now there was also this this misunderstanding that they thought that the blood, and remember we were talking about the blood
by the ear,
that it was coming out of the ear. They thought that he had popped his eardrum, but that's not the case. It was a cut behind the ear that was doing all the bleeding. So I mean, at some point when you're watching his legs kind of flail left and right, we're thinking his equilibrium is gone, and that's not the case. The case is that Tyson hit him so hard, he cracked his head open, or he got a laceration on the side of the ear, on the left side of the ear.
Yeah, I think though, even though his eardrum wasn't, technically hadn't burst, obviously his balance was off because of all the strikes that he took to the temple, to the jaw.
Yeah. Did he was really hitting with this?
That's
I heard about that.
We were talking with
what's his name? Supposedly he was hitting him, but like with the wrist.
With the wrist.
Supposedly, I don't know.
It's intentional.
I don't know. Hey, let me tell you this: that guy is way too big to be hitting somebody with a wrist. He's way too big.
Yeah. I'm going to stick to my guns. I think that Tyson outboxed him. He knew when to wrap him up. He knew when to put his weight on him.
He didn't let him load that right. He didn't let him load that, because as soon as Fury saw that he was loading that right, he was slipping, hug.
Yeah,
slipping, hug,
tying him up.
And the referee took a point away because he got tired of Fury every time they were going to clinch, and they were getting separated. Fury come, hit him with a good upper, or hit him with a cross real quick, and the ref tried to take a point away from that shit.
Right.
And man, look at here, I was hot when that happened. I was hot because, bro, it's a fight. Protect yourself at all times. If y'all clinching, you separate, bro. The first hand that you get loose, bring it up.
Well, the other thing too is like when the referee was yelling, break, Wilder would hold on to Tyson Fury's glove like this, and he would try and pull out and pull out and pull out. And then I think that the referee was trying to basically insinuate that Tyson Fury was holding on and not letting go.
Yeah.
Which is it was actually the opposite.
If you saw the first fight, the 12th round,
right, correct.
How obviously Tyson was knocked down and then rose, miraculously rose. And then
he was looking like Undertaker.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Well, no one thought he was getting up. The manner in which he went down, his eyes kind of rolled back in his head.
That was disgusting.
But when he did get back up, he applied a tremendous amount of pressure.
He finished the round.
Yeah, and he won. I think, other than the knockdowns, he really.
But that knockdown was scored as a 10-8. That's one of the things that was the controversy.
Yeah. Well, my point is though, it's almost like one fight, the first fight, just continued on into the second fight, right?
That's right.
Because Tyson Fury picked up right where he left off, applying pressure, moving forward. He noticed at that point in the fight that he had Deontay frustrated, Right. So it seems like he just used that same technique, same game plan, and they just picked it up in round one where they left off previously. I don't think Tyson called it out. He said, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come at you. And I'm not going to stop." And Deontay, they weren't buying it.
The man said he wanted to taste blood.
Yeah. They were not buying it.
And I think that Wilder failed on making the adjustment that he needed to make in order to take the fight. And I think that was one of the bigger problems in his corner, was they didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
Normally when you go into a fight, you have a plan A. My plan A is to stick and move or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if plan A don't work, you go to plan B. If you're the smaller guy, you're going to get inside and make the fight dirty. If you're the taller guy, you're going to continue with that jab on the outside or whatever the case may be. And he didn't have that. He just didn't have that adjustment.
And I don't know what the game plan really was for Deontay. I don't know whether they had planned for him to do something, but he just couldn't. He just couldn't pull it off. I mean, that's possible as well. But from what we saw, it looked like his game plan in the second fight was the same as in the first.
He didn't let him reset.
He came in trying to do that one quitter hitter, and it just didn't work for him.
I just love the fact that Fury came in and did not let him set. He did not let him set.
Here's another one. Let's get into the UFC. These fights.
Ooh!
Okay,
hey,
let's talk fire. Let's talk about the fire.
Who missed weight on a championship belt?
If Figueiredo is now claiming that he is the champion, even though he missed weight by 2 pounds and so many ounces.
Man, no disrespect, my man, but you don't deserve that belt. You get a chance. You got a responsibility. Okay, how long they set this fire over for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that?
About that longer.
So probably a little bit longer.
The main event.
The main event.
Figueiredo.
And you're gonna tell me that you're gonna miss that weight, bro? But what, 2.5 pounds? Fuck that. It was 3. I don't believe on that and a half. No, it was 3, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's the belt, bro.
And Figueiredo is not a small guy for that weight category. He's a big guy for that weight category. He should be fighting at 145, 145. He's a big boy.
The way that he walk in, you can say that easily he walks around at least like
150.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, Joseph definitely looked like the smaller fighter. I think I like what Joseph was doing initially. He had a lot of speed. He was, mixing it up, throwing the leg kicks. Yeah. Things are working. Seemed like at times Figueiredo was even frustrated at times. Yeah. He was getting caught with some punches, and I thought it was
that left hook.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah, I thought it was going to continue, but Figueiredo just, he just stuck in
Cracked
there.
him with that right hand, and it was over.
Yeah, even though he was frustrated, he just stuck to his guns.
Man, it was just straight down
Now it's not
I give it to him. It was a clean shot.
But
it was straight down the pipe.
But it's not. Let's not take it away from Figueroa. He worked his way to this bout. Let's not underestimate the guy. He's had a good run.
That's the reason why he top 3 right now, ranked top. Well, after this one, he probably be like the number 1 contender.
Even then, this
second.
is the first time that he misses weight.
Yeah.
He's not a guy that's known for missing weight. You understand?
Yeah, but it's
so
a title fight.
To a point, I agree. He had that responsibility
it's a title fight, bro.
and then the excuse that he gave afterwards was that his nutritionist told him I guess he was feeling a certain kind of way, and his nutritionist told him to stop his regimen from cutting or so on and so forth.
It was an emergency stop of the
effect.
weight cut program.
Correct.
Because I guess there were some things.
Let me tell you that. If your nutritionist is telling you to stop your cut weighting already, it means that you gotta move up, buddy.
Yeah,
it means that it's not healthy for you. You gotta move up.
I think the other problem with the UFC, and this is my own personal opinion, is they should be doing hydration testing. I know one championship does it. I think Rizin does it as well, and this keeps these guys fighting at their weight, at their natural weight. A lot of these guys that are 6'2" fighting at 140, 150 pounds, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think there's definitely this can be done a better way. What we're doing now with the weight classes and cutting weight, it can definitely be done in a better way. But if you really want to talk about relevant points as to the outcome of the fight, let's not forget the headbutt. These guys collided.
That's right, they collided.
Yeah. That was a
Benavidez
tremendous cut.
open.
Yeah.
That blood was coming out of that.
That could cause that. You know what? That could have caused that
Well,
knockout
I think
too,
one of the shots came in when Benavidez was holding his head, or he went like this, and when he went like this and he looked at it, it's when he caught that shot.
Yeah,
and that's when he went down.
Yeah, he definitely looked dazed. Yeah. He looked confused before he got caught with that right. We don't know when they did clash. We don't know how hard they hit and how that affected Benavidez. It didn't seem like he lost his legs, but it did seem like he was stunned to some degree. It looked as his reaction time had slowed down a little bit as well. Yeah. And right after that, you could see him, touching that cut. And the other fighters, when they see you favoring something, they're going to go at it.
They're going to go at it.
So I think the question now is, where does Dana go with this? It's the title's still vacant.
It's in the air.
And so does he fight again for the belt? Do they rematch? How does that go for Benavidez, and how does it go for Figueiredo?
I think it could happen this way. I think since Figueiredo won, they're gonna give him another title shot with another contender.
I think that would be fair. I think he would have the responsibility to make.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell him, dude, we're gonna put you again with somebody else for the shot.
Yeah, and we know that Dana, when making these types of decisions, he wants to see what the people say. So
put him in there with Chris Cyborg.
I don't know. What have the people said? Have the people spoken yet? Because that's Dana uses that in terms of making decisions. What do we do now? If the people want to see a rematch and people are pushing for it.
I would like to see a rematch.
Hold up, I would like to see a rematch too, though. But let's cut you over talking about what's that word again you just said? Go back.
People have spoken.
Whatever, and having responsibilities.
Right.
That ref that stopped that damn fucking fight.
The Megamov fight. Yeah, that was Ian Cataloba and Megamov.
We'll get to that one.
Oh my God.
Do you want to see a rematch? Do you want to see a rematch?
Yeah, I want to see
with Benavidez. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think
he deserves it. Why not?
How do you see a rematch going?
I think it's going to be different. I think Benavidez is going to come in a little bit different.
Yeah, Benavidez is going to be coming. He's going to be coming more aggressive, more forward.
I don't think he's going to be striking as much though. I think he's going to try and take it to the ground.
He was. You know what? One thing I saw that Benavidez was being more of a counter fighter. He was just letting him approach and just go with the countering.
How did you have it scored up to that point? How did you have the rounds?
Was it 2? I had
2-1. Benavidez 2-1.
Yeah,
because even though what's his name? I forgot his. Figueiredo. He was going forward, but he was getting caught with a lot of countering.
Well, the pressure was there, but I think that Benavidez definitely took the first round. Like Jim said, he was frustrating him. He was moving him around. He was getting his kicks in. He was getting his shots were getting in.
Killed him with the angles though too.
Yeah, he was doing well. I think in the second round he started off well.
Yeah.
And then
it's almost like Figueiredo had just willed himself to win, no matter what was happening. He just kind of overcame it and stood the course and kept moving forward.
Yep.
That headbutt definitely played a large role in what happened.
Oh yeah,
so
for
I'd
sure.
like to see him run it back.
I think so.
Why not?
I think so.
You know how it's gonna go. I don't know.
Those two. That's it. Those two. Either they get a rematch or they're gonna find another fight for.
Speaking of running it back, Wilder activated his rematch clause.
Okay, so he had an option, right? He had the 30-day option.
He had a 30-day option.
So he exercised his option. So there's going to be a rematch.
We have our guest, Jim, Extreme Velocity, Taekwondo, black belt. Whoop your ass really quick.
No, I'm a man of peace.
Say something.
Peace and kindness.
Say something, damn it.
Fuck your crew up. Say something.
He will peacefully kick your ass. So we'll go from there. So we left off on talking about the Benavidez and Figueiredo fight. And now what we want to do is we want to focus on the Megamed and Ian fight.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So what happened in that fight, if you guys weren't paying attention, which was this weekend, that fight got stopped super prematurely in the first round, about a minute and something in. I guess that Ian Cotaloba was playing the possum part where he was, but he was, or at least from what we saw, he was playing possum.
Yeah.
And the referee came in, stopped the fight while Ian was striking.
Right.
Blocking and striking.
And he effectively threw a left hook.
Exactly when he was getting stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think what happened was the referee was looking for the right moment. The referee I think already had it in his mind that he was going to stop it. Was looking for the right moment.
He was looking for the right moment.
Yeah. And jumped in, but it definitely was a mistaken call. Obviously,
it's a big mistake. I think that ref from that fight on, that referee, everybody gonna be looking at him.
They should
crazy.
fire him. That was horrible. I think he robbed a lot of people from a good fight. Because even if you look at it, like these guys were swinging haymakers like crazy. Mm-hmm. Like they were trying to knock each other out.
Since that bell run, they were fucking throwing blows, bro.
Yeah, but it seemed like seemed like something that an inexperienced ref would have done.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
That ref had. I forget the name of the ref, but
he got a few years on.
He's been doing this quite a bit. But if you've ever seen, obviously you guys have seen Anderson Silva fight and how he does the wobble, the drunken monkey kind of,
right.
Trying to lull.
It's
his
kind of like that dope a rope in boxing.
He was doing. I mean, that's the only conclusion that I could come to because he was responding so crisply and so timely. It didn't match up with his body language. So
that's correct.
He was stumbling. It looked as if he was stumbling. He looked as if he was couldn't find his legs from under him. But he was responding very crisply.
He was precisely blocking the kicks.
Absolutely.
He was precisely blocking the punches. It's not like anything was getting through.
Yeah. And it was timely as well.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Yeah. Even his eyes. I mean, I was watching his eyes, and his eyes looked like
they look clean.
I don't know. It kind of looked like his eyes went along with the drunken monkey technique. I mean, he had me fooled to some degree, but yeah.
Now, in the post interview, he said that was his plan, was to draw him in. He said his plan worked so well that the referee stopped the fight. The idea was to draw in his opponent, and that way he can get that knockout, which it looked like he was doing. He was being effective, at least from what we saw here.
He was blocking and hit him.
And believe me, we looked at that video, I don't know, about 5 or 6 times before we started the show.
When I woke up this morning, that's the first thing that I done. I went back to that fight again.
Yeah.
I said, hold on, I gotta go see this again.
And it was quick. It was what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds in.
A little bit over than that.
Yeah, it was about a minute.
Yeah, about a minute. But it was just stupid because the man, even though he was wobbling or whatever, but he was still active. He was still blocking. He was still throwing punches. He was responsive. And he was not just throwing. You know how sometimes when you see somebody stunned and they throw him, but it's like sloppy. Yeah. No, bro, he was swinging for. He was bro. He was swinging for the fences, my dude.
Trying to knock that guy.
Yeah. There was definitely power, motivation, decisiveness behind every punch. Yeah. They weren't just errant punches. He knew what he was doing. Yeah, he was definitely of sound mind when he was doing that. Yeah. Man, he was really throwing some bombs.
But it killed me though, because like just as he threw that right hand, the referee jumps in and he lets go of that left, and he clocks Megamorph with that left hand. It was just
right there. Yeah, it was in the back of the neck too.
Yeah, it was clean, man.
Yeah, they'll run that back. They have to run that back.
That needs to be run back. Now you know that might be a moneymaker for the UFC at this point because they stopped.
They have to put them in the next main event.
Yeah, you got a little taste of what's to come with them. The hostility. You know, they had the hostility before the fight. They almost fought before the fight.
Yeah, when
right?
they were going to do the meetup, he walked up on him, and the other guy grabbed him, and he spun him around, and just there was a little bit of WWE going on there for a second.
And how many weeks do we have to go with controversial endings? I mean, this is happening. Obviously,
a lot.
There are a lot more. There are more fights than ever, right?
Yeah.
But
like the one that Bobby Lawler got bull choked.
Robbie Lawler
with Ben Askren.
That was bullshit.
That was a bad call.
Last week there were bad stops. I mean, it just seems like every weekend or
we had the Paul Felder fight got called. In my opinion, I think Paul Felder won that fight, and they gave it to Dan Hooker.
I don't know, bro. I saw that fight.
Bro, Paul Felder was handing it to him.
I know, but
he was a busy boy. And he was dropping the more significant and the more impactful. He was giving damage.
I don't know. I think I gotta watch that fight.
Watch it again.
I gotta watch it again without smoking weed.
Yeah.
Just smoked a bite.
I don't know if that's going to be possible, but regardless of that fact,
it's not possible
with the
for you.
number of occurrences, the number of fights, and we've had controversy.
Yeah, it's happening.
And a significant amount of controversy. They got to look into that. Dana's got to. And you see Dana after something happens, he's the first one to say the ref messed up.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have done that. But I'm not seeing anything put in place. To stop this from happening.
Right.
If you think about
a policy
that,
of some sort or something.
That
would make sense.
Hey, I know something. Start finding them.
Yeah. Start finding the refs.
With the referees,
Start finding them.
Take a part of their purse like you do a fighter when he misses weight.
Finding them.
I know it's a tough.
You start finding them. Watch how they're gonna let them drop until they're not moving.
Absolutely, it'll change big time.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait. No. I was gonna jump in. No. Keep hitting him. Don't worry about it. I got you.
You're good. You're good. Yeah. I'm just standing here. I just want to be close.
I just want to make my cash.
It's tough. It's tough when you're charging someone with the responsibility of the health and safety of a human being. It's a tough thing.
It's a tough call too.
But it's a tough sport.
But again, experience. Is huge, and the fact that we've gone through so many controversies, they should be pulling the refs aside. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, but they should be pulling refs aside. They should be pulling people aside. Yeah. They should be getting together and somehow trying to reduce the number of
I mean, as far at least wait that there is a definitive non-movement or an incoherence in movement that suggests that the fighter's not really blocking or taking care of himself or striking back, or because that's technically the way it's supposed to be.
Perhaps you can have another more experienced ref on headphones, right? Who's able to speak to the ref in the ring.
And
if the
say,
ref
hey,
in the ring is like, hey, listen, what do you think, or feedback or something? So you have now one. You have two people.
PFL does that, don't they?
PFL, they got a referee with cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
Here or on the glasses, because they got the glasses and they got the cameras right there.
Just having someone else in your ear, you could say, if I'm the ref in the ring and I'm charged with someone's health and safety,
you're from the outside, yeah.
I'm in the ring and I could easily say, what do you guys think? Or they could be talking to me or giving me information. I mean, once another person weighs in, it makes your.
I think that goes hand in hand with the judges. I think that adding an additional judge would probably solve a lot of these.
They only got 3 judges
problems
so far.
Yeah, but they put
if they're additional 4, it would be good. If they do like PFL, put the glasses to the ref with the camera for this purposes. Because guess what, this could have kept going. Because I guarantee you, if the ref would have had the camera, they would have go to the judges. Right. All right, let's go see this clip from your glasses. Let's see if it was still active.
The problem with the UFC is that once a referee stops a fight, it's done.
Right, and we talked about that earlier. What is it that unreasonable with that stoppage to just say, okay, guys, let's just keep it going. Let's ask both parties, and if they're both willing to continue the fight,
as long as there's no damage, they're coherent. Let them ride.
Why not? Why have to do a rematch? Why do we have to make weight and go through all that again? Hey, both these guys can fight if they both agree.
Even though I don't think the card of coming this weekend on Lasagna, I don't think this card is set yet completely, so they might put him in that. in that car.
Nah, that's too early of a turnaround. They have to.
They're already out. Wait, but clear of what?
If they're ready to start, if they're ready to start the same night, then
there's no damage. The stop got fight at like 1 minute.
At 1 minute, yeah.
That's what they don't got no damage. They ready to go right now.
Yeah,
and I can't tell you how they manage that, but I know that there's a clause in there that doesn't allow them to take a short-term fight or something or another.
Well, I don't know. Listen,
shit, look at Donald Cerrone when he was fighting. That motherfucker was fighting.
He had 3 months. Yeah. He had a 3 month.
Every other 2 months.
He fought every 3 months.
Let's be honest about this, though. Dana makes the rules, period. We don't have to have a committee. We don't need anyone. Dana makes the fights happen whenever he wants, when he wants. He makes the rules.
He got a big roster, so.
Yeah, he's got a huge roster now.
I mean, with that being said, if you are talking about one of the most dangerous sports, for people to compete in, it would make sense to have another ref. We're talking about the well-being of two human beings. Have another ref, maybe not in the ring, maybe ringside,
but making that secondary call just in case,
and the ability for them to communicate with each other, on the fly.
That would be great.
Have both of them with fucking mic. The one who outside with their mic and the other one with the earpiece on.
That's it.
Let it ride. No, good. You know what I'm saying?
Dana, listening? Are you listening, Dana?
He might be, man.
Yeah, we're giving you ideas, Dana.
No charge.
Hey, Dana, come on our show. Come hang out, man.
Nah.
We over here just talking junk.
That's a charge. Just take us ringside. That's it.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Take us catch fight with this idea right here. We're good.
Yeah. So that fight was bad. The girls that fought in the Megan from Australia.
Megan Anderson.
Whoa!
Did you see that straight right punch to the chin?
Goodness.
And Megan just dropped that girl like she was a sack of shit.
Shout out to Megan because this is like one of the best shape I ever seen her.
Yeah.
She's best a ever. Girl.
I love her energy,
This girl was jacked and looking good, bro.
Yeah.
She was looking phenomenal. The way that she was throwing.
She was moving well. She was clean. Yeah. She was clean. I mean, she was frustrated the first couple seconds because the opponent came in and she came in hard. But when she got her bearings together, it was over.
Megan must have had a great camp because she came in with so much positive energy. You could see it, her body language, everything. You knew that when she came in there, that
saw
she
a
must
couple
have
extra tattoos too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other girl was no slouch.
No, not at all.
Short, compact, strong. No joke.
Yeah.
She came in a fight too, though.
What she did, that's what I'm saying. The first few, I think it was like the first minute of the round. I mean, she came in there and she gave her a hard time.
Yeah, hard time. So she stayed on her face.
Absolutely,
she started pushing against the cage too, to the point where it's kind of difficult if you're gonna go against a taller opponent and you push into the cage.
And she's using it, yeah.
And she was using it.
She was trying to draw that energy out of her. That was a great thing to do. So. But that was a good fight. The other fight was the let me look here because I got them all like stacked up here. Felicia Spencer and Zahara Fine. Yeah. I think that was great too. I think Spencer, boy, let me tell you, that girl is just on some crazy stuff.
Yeah, she's got a chin. She's got a lot of tools.
You think she's ready to go up there?
She's already there. What are you talking about?
She ready?
And after this win, puts her in the top 10.
Let's back up for a second. Megan, I mean, are they going to match her up with Amanda Nunes? Is that
that's the talk? Yeah, that's the talk.
That's the talk.
And now if you look at Megan, is not a small girl.
Let me tell you,
that's a big girl. She's
most likely Amanda Nunes is going to be down to her rib cage.
What weight class was that fight at?
She's tall as hell.
Megan's fight. Was it 145 or 135?
It was 135, right?
No, she's too big to 135.
I don't know if it was one.
She's too big to 135.
It was featherweight. They fought. Oh no, not Megan. Megan fought at a woman's featherweight.
135.
135.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Those are not small girls.
Wow.
She's that big at 135.
Yeah.
She's tall as hell, 135.
Yeah.
But she's like 6'1", something like that.
No, she's like 6 feet.
Who else do we have as at the top of the contender list at the 135 for women?
You have.
I want to see my girl to go up and challenge.
Who's that?
Valentina.
Oh, Valentina.
I want her to go up and challenge. I would love to see her go up and challenge.
I'd like to see her stay at Tiger Muay Thai for a little bit longer. And then move up because her last fight was phenomenally crazy. She knocked that girl out without thinking. That was just great performance.
What was in the second round?
Second round.
Wouldn't you say
that girl thought that she was gonna come in and do something? You thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Valentina and Amanda are on a collision course. I mean, you know, the people want to see it. It makes sense. The fight makes sense.
What?
They fought once before.
I think their first encounter didn't work well for Shevchenko.
It went the distance. It went 5 rounds. I don't know. It was at 135, I believe. Correct.
That's right.
Can Valentina go up from 125 to 135?
She can.
Again?
She can.
Absolutely.
And I think that could be a good move for her.
Yep.
Because then she's not losing weight as much as she thinks she is, and I think she walks around.
Another big fight to watch, though, is this weekend. Joanna
Shevchenko. I mean, Joanna Jacek. I can't say.
Yeah.
And the
China girl.
Yeah.
She a champ.
Yeah,
oh my God.
She's a hard hitter.
Let me tell you this. That girl fought. She lost her first pro fight.
The Chinese girl.
Yeah. She's got 20 straight right now.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's all it took. That's all it took.
That is huge, man. That is a Ronda Rousey streak there.
Bro, she lost her first pro fight. That's it. And then after that,
she's just been moving. Yeah.
Moving. That's it. 20 straight.
Is a beast.
Let me tell you.
Have you seen her training sessions?
Hey, and let me tell you this.
I mean, like, her training camp is sick.
She's hungry.
Like, they push her hard.
Yeah, she's hungry.
That's why I keep telling you, Joanna's gonna have a tough fight. I
You
know a lot of people are gonna say, yeah, she's the queen. And she's gonna get her belt back.
She had a problem with Namajunas, and Namajunas didn't hit as hard as this girl. This girl hits hard, man.
That's at 115? Is
115, yeah, strawweight.
Yeah, 115.
Strawweight.
Wow.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
And the champ, she looked huge for 115. Did you see that girl biceps?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
Jesus.
she's in great shape, but I think the one thing that's gonna cause Joanna a lot of trouble, man, is just that straightforward movement. Yeah. That girl moves. Yeah, she's dominant when she moves.
She got a hell of a lot of pressure.
She's a great boxer. I like her boxing skills. She's
I always said I wanted a girlfriend like that, but then every time I watch them fight, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. I don't think I want to get my ass whooped while I'm fucking.
You cannot say fights like a girl. Can't say that anymore.
She fights like a dude.
I mean, if you're saying that fights like a girl, that means, damn it, she is a badass. Because these women.
Think about it this way: if you got a girl like that, it's all right because everything's legal in the gym.
Hey, relationship goals, though, man. Come on, girl. Give me a kick. Come on, girl. Give me another kick. Come on, girl. Throw it at me.
Remember that you did this at the house?
Bring.
Honestly, on a serious note, at the top levels, the female fights are just as exciting.
I think they fight. I think they fight with more fire. Yeah. I think that women fighters. They're much meaner than men. I think men, when they get that knockout, they're like, all right, cool, we got this, right? They walk away.
I enjoy watching the girls fight a little bit
more. I don't know. I do think that
in a way, depending what kind of guys are fighting.
The mean girls, the ones that are really mean, are probably meaner than any dude we know.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, a lot of great women's fights, and just all in all, the women's fight game has come leaps and bounds in such a short period of time.
Talking about short, even female
leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
The women's fight game. The women's fight game has come leaps and bounds in a short period of time.
And I agree. And Ronda Rousey, who for some reason doesn't get enough credit anymore,
right,
really set the standard for the females in MMA.
Yeah.
And then now with Shevchenko and Nunes and you see that the talent is just changing.
So with that being said, who's the godmother? Is it Rousey or Cyborg? Who's the godmother of female mixed martial arts?
Rousey.
Talking about Cyborg. Let me tell you about Cyborg.
Is it? What about you?
I don't care.
Who's the godmother?
Cyborg. Hold on.
Because that's the reason why Rousey is a Hall of Famer right now.
Hold on. Just talking about Cyborg. Cyborg went to Bellator and she ran the gambit.
Mm-hmm.
She is undefeated in Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, she ran the gambit.
Right.
Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg started around the same time, I'm going to assume, because they were both in Strikeforce. Strikeforce with what? 2010, 2011. I mean, but I would have to say it's Ronda though, because Ronda was the one that made that opening in the UFC
right.
for any of the girls to get in at whatever weight, and she made it exciting. Them arm bars that she was coming with was her boxing was ass. I'm sorry, let's just be real.
Yeah, judo throws
exactly.
crazy.
And if you want to talk about mass appeal, right? Obviously, Cyborg didn't quite bring the mass appeal. I don't think, with Ronda, a lot of girls are watching her.
That's right.
She had the look. She was the total package. So from that perspective, really opening up the UFC and opening up MMA to different women and it being more something that they may want to do, I would give it to Ronda. But it's, in terms of what they've done in the sport and over a period of time and having the respect of their peers and how they handled themselves and having an air of like unflappable, that would be Cyborg.
And the evolution as well. I mean, you got girls like Miesha Tate who help structure the female MMA, especially in the UFC.
Yeah.
So you can't take it from a lot of these girls. Ronda Rousey started the whole thing, but now you got girls like Nunes, man. Wow, beastly.
Yeah.
You have girls like Cyborg. Oh my gosh, like when you leave one establishment and you go to another establishment and you impose your will on that division, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And speaking about imposing will, Khabib and Ferguson.
Yes.
Right? I know that's coming up.
It's like lucky number 5 already.
Man.
No, it's going to happen, though.
They got
Don't
set
jinx
up
it. It's going to happen.
I'm not jinxing it. Just, oh, my God, bro.
I think, here's what I think. My opinion on that.
I got the upset.
I think Ferguson, that's my upset. I'm going to call Ferguson, and I'll tell you why. I think Ferguson out of anybody.
You're going to call him physically, or you got his phone number?
I'll shoot. Let me call him right now. Yo, Ferguson, if you hearing, bro, we a new show, bro. We in Florida. Come hang out with us, man. We'd love to have you on.
But if you come hang out, we got to watch the wires. We don't want you blowing out your knees or ankles or anything. We got wires here. We don't need that right now.
So I think Ferguson is going to take it. And the reason I think that Ferguson is going to take it is because he's active on the ground. Not only is he active in his jiu-jitsu, but he's active off his back, which not a lot of guys that have fought could be. Yeah,
he's a good wrestler,
and his hand skills are ridiculous. That spinning elbow is another worry that Khabib needs to really stress.
I'm telling you, Khabib gonna get hit in every single angle that he never experienced in his life, bro.
Yeah, I don't. You know how when Khabib gets a hold of someone, gets them down, how the person just looks like they've never fought before,
right? Exactly.
Like there's nothing to do.
Fish out of water.
Putting Tony Ferguson in that same position, I think, is going to be very, very difficult.
It's going to be hard. Yeah,
it's going to be impossible.
And even if he does get them into that particular situation, Ferguson is a great grappler. He's a great scrambler, not just a grappler, but he's a great scrambler. So he should be able to scramble right out of that.
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, by the way.
Yeah.
The last thing that I think is huge in terms of significance on the fight is Tony Ferguson's mindset. You cannot break that dude's mindset.
No, you can't, man.
No.
Right? We saw Conor break. We saw Al Adesanya hang in there, but at times we saw him break. Tony's not built like that. I don't see him breaking. His mindset's going to stay the same.
He's a different kind of beast. Although, let me tell you that, Khabib and Aklinta, that showed that there was holes in Khabib's game.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to his stamina.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance.
In the fourth and in the fifth, you can see Khabib slowed down against Aklinta.
Of course.
And it was not a little slowdown. It was a massive slowdown.
And you know what's the thing I love about Kukui? He's a
his stamina's sick.
Not even that though. It's like the more that he tired, the more
he gets better. He gets better as the fight goes on.
Yeah.
He gets more raw.
After, let me tell you this. If they still standing at the 4th round, Kukui gonna take over.
Yeah.
If Khabib and survive the 3rd round and like I said, that fight's still moving, bro, it's over. Cause I tell you this, Khabib that's his round.
That's his round.
4 and 5, that's his round. He gonna come at you with everything that he got. You're gonna be seeing capoeira kicks coming around, spinning elbows, flying, bro. You're gonna see everything coming your way in every single angle, bro. That's how I see Khabib losing in the 4th round.
Now, let's just assume for a moment that Khabib ends up pulling off the win. They're already talking about a Conor McGregor and Khabib rematch.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why not?
I think that I'd rather see another fight. Not saying it wouldn't be a good fight, but I'd rather see another fight. I'd rather see Khabib fight, Justin Gaethje or.
That's not gonna be good for him.
I think that McGregor should fight Gaethje, and then fight Khabib. At least.
Are you gonna say thank you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just reached into my pocket and you just grabbed my.
But hold on, guys. He gave me the idea. By the way, it was great. I couldn't help but to agree
It's
because
okay.
can you just see the Gaethje and McGregor fight? Yeah,
Wow.
I think that stylistically it's awesome.
Gonna end quick.
Wow.
It's gonna end quick.
Wouldn't it be great to have Khabib and Ferguson and McGregor and Gaethje fight the same night? And
Dang,
the
that would be
winners,
good.
the
That would be one
winners
hell of a
fight
card.
the winners, and the losers fight the losers.
Ooh, that's gonna be
That's a
great.
good one.
Man.
We talked about that the other day.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna
Before
be
you go in my pocket and take that one
yeah,
too, I
I'll
want
tell you. Hey,
I'm
be careful,
even-
man. I'll
I'm
take it,
even-
dude. It's
I'm
there.
zip my pocket up.
You brought up the Gaethje and Khabib. I was waiting for you to bring up
There you go,
Gaethje
there
and
you go.
McGregor.
There you go.
I figured I'd bring it out for you. Anyway, so in my opinion, I think that would be. I think that's a great way to go. And it's not to say that a second Khabib and McGregor fight wouldn't be good. In my opinion, I don't see the outcome any different.
Yeah.
I still think that Khabib's pressure, his ground game is a little bit more superior than McGregor. Now, the only way that McGregor would win first round, he's gonna have to knock him out. Second round, he's gonna have to knock him out.
better than a fucking bear.
Yeah.
And there was no controversy in the outcome or during the fight with McGregor
and Khabib.
and Khabib. There's no controversy. It was just plain as day. You didn't need you didn't have to ever watch an MMA fight in your life.
That's right.
And you could still see that fight, and it was
get
as clear as day.
And I think that maybe McGregor should fight a couple more fights before he decides to take that belt on.
Yeah, I think he fight. Okay, I'm with you. He should fight Gaethje.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so there's a consensus here.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's definitely a consensus here.
Do you see either of them backing down?
No,
That's an explosion.
No,
man. That's a collision course right there.
I'm picturing it. Yeah, he fight Gaethje, and then I would like to see if they want to put another opponent against McGregor. I would like to see him go against Andy Pettis.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good one too, but it depends because Andy Pettis went up to 170, so he might have to go down back again.
I'll tell you that a good fight that they just started beefing and talking shit to each other is Dan Hooker and Justin Poirier.
Poirier, really?
Yeah. So Poirier just called out Dan Hooker and was like, "I got 25 minutes for you. What's up?" And now you remember that Dan Hooker called out Poirier, and Poirier told Hooker, "No, man, I'm waiting to fight fucking McGregor." So now that McGregor's not interested in the Poirier fight, he's calling out Hooker like, "Yo, I got 25 minutes for you." And I think that would be stylistically that's a good fight because they both have very similar stand up, and it's not going to go to the ground as much.
Everybody want to fight McGregor,
bro. With the payday.
That's
Come
a payday,
on, man.
Yeah, that's a payday.
Red panties, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad because you know that McGregor made a couple mil off the last fight, and Cerrone only made like 200 grand.
Now,
yeah.
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, he himself said it. He did an interview with MMA Junkie, and he was like, "I only got the base pay, which was the 200 grand. He didn't even get PPV off of that."
Is Cerrone? Is that it? Is there a fight scheduled? Is there?
We don't know yet. I wish I could know. Because I love Cerrone, man.
Yeah.
I just thought I was just disappointed that they put him against McGregor. He should not took that fight.
Yeah.
I don't care how big it was. I don't care. Look at the time. Look, when they were like with that little beef in that press conference, that was so long ago. If you think about it, like, and in that time of frame, Cerrone took a lot of damage, bro.
Yeah.
So he took two big losses.
Yeah, so it's a way. It's different Cerrone, man. Yeah. I thought it was horrible.
I just think that he's been
for the fan. It's good.
He's been too active though. Like he had a loss, 3 months, another loss, another 3 months, and now he's fighting McGregor on short.
Well, let's be honest. The main reason for that Cerrone wanted to fight McGregor was for the money, for the payday. It wasn't as that stylistically that it would be a great fight, and no one was really wanting to see that fight. But I think that it was a situation where we know he's going to retire.
That's right.
And he'd put in work over these years, and I think that Dana wanted to reward him and give him a fight in which he would make, which is why I'm having a hard time understanding or believing that he only got a couple hundred grand. It just doesn't make sense, you know.
And you know what?
I thought he at least made to at least 500,000 at least.
I'll pull the interview. It was all over ESPN and everything. He was griping. He said, "Hey, listen, I didn't make," because I think one of his fans made a comment. Man, that payday must have been great. And he wrote to her, and he was like, "What payday? I got base pay. I didn't get any PPV. I only made the 200 grand base pay." And that really sucks for him because that's a big money fight. That was a money fight.
Think about that. So Donald Cerrone, tremendous, one of my favorite fighters of all time.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Been doing it, held so many records. Obviously, we wanted him to win the championship. Mm-hmm. That eluded him. He never won the championship. That's a disappointment to him. I know he wanted it, being the competitive warrior that he is. So he didn't get the championship, and he didn't get his payday either. He was supposed to get his payday. Like, we can't control him getting his championship, right? But you can control a payday, and you know what I mean? So
if he would have got at least 1.5 mil, let's say 2 mil off the fight, I think he would have been great. I think he would have been a happy guy. He would have threw his gloves in the center and been like, "Hey, I'm done."
Absolutely. You know? So to me, it was a disservice. It was just a bad way.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It was a bad way.
Horrible.
He needs
crazy.
Yeah, he needs to hang in there, fight a few more fights, and let's get this guy a payday.
Get that guy. I mean, and the only thing that eluded Cerrone is a belt. The guy's broken so many records in the UFC.
He still got the most knockout in pay-per-view. Main events.
Yeah. Shout out to Donald for sure, man.
Shout out to Donald. I think he also got a record for most submissions also.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer, bro. He's a Hall of Famer.
And liked by so many.
He's just like one of the pioneers. He's like one of the first pioneers coming up, bro. So.
Loved and respected by other fighters, by his peers, by other people, you know.
Well, I mean, it's because he's humble in what he does.
Bro, who don't like a cowboy, man?
Yeehaw.
An Indian.
Yeah.
We definitely we don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll tell you what, the other fight that kind of got me a little concerned too was the Paul Felder fight, because at the end of the fight he was ready to take his gloves off and leave it in the middle of the ring.
Yes.
And then he thought twice about it
because he was disappointed with
the decision.
Yeah.
The decision, and I urge you, watch that fight again. You'll see. I mean, Paul Felder was landing.
Watch it again. I'm gonna try to watch it without smoking. Okay.
Why again? Why is that again? Why are you attempting to?
No smoke for you. I don't know.
What? It don't sound normal.
That's not Angel, man. That's definitely not the Barber.
Well, listen,
sure.
I wouldn't want you doing my fade without smoking. So
yeah, I know, right?
I understand.
Let's keep.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot to cut here.
You know what's so funny though? You know what's so funny that he mentioned that, because I got a couple of clients. They actually text me, "You already smoke?" I'm like, "Nah, go ahead, man."
Before I come in, right?
Yeah, before I come in, I'm on my way. Be there in 30 minutes or 20 minutes. All right.
Hey, is the smoke deal up here in Florida? Is it on? Is there a referendum this voting term?
Well, about the voting thing, of course, I gotta know. Yeah, that's for the next votes coming up.
We know the last term they legalized the medical.
Yeah, they make it now. If they legalize this time around for recreational, what they're gonna do is you have to be 21 and over to actually have it on you.
Be able to smoke.
Yeah, have it on you and walk around normally. And you'll be allowed to walk around with at least 2 ounces in your
something
pocket.
like that, yeah.
Like closer to 2 ounces.
You know what, man? Yeah. The minute that happens, bro, there'll be dispensaries open all up and down in freaking Hillsborough here,
everywhere.
Well, I mean, if you've been the person who's been smoking marijuana for the last 5, 10, 15 years, is it really that significant whether the law changes or doesn't change?
It doesn't. That don't make no fucking
Well,
difference.
I mean, you'll be able to smoke without being harassed.
To me, it don't make no fucking difference to me, though, because
that's what I'm saying.
Man, I'm the type of person, man. I light up my joint everywhere. I don't give a shit.
At the end of the day, if you don't like it, go to Colorado, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the way I think. I'd rather light up a joint than grabbing a beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
because at the end of the day, a cop not gonna fucking fuck with you. Like, if they know that, okay, yeah, I smoke one weed, but they're not gonna give you a damn DUI or take you to jail because you
They can give you.
But
They can
who
give
the
you
hell?
driving under
First
the
of
influence.
I
though.
know, but who the hell actually get on a car accident being high, bro? If anything,
it's
you
not
should
like alcohol for sure.
Yeah, it's not like alcohol. You're not gonna get dizzy and shit. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you'll be more sharper and paying attention.
So
More
then
paying attention.
maybe you should smoke when you watch this fight.
I think so. Yeah.
You should-
You're right.
smoke when
You're
you
right,
watch the
Jim.
fight,
You're
man.
right,
You
Jim.
can't do it, man. You can't do it.
Real quick, because I know we don't have too much more time, but I'm really excited as hell about this Israel Adesanya and
Yeah, that's gonna be
Yes.
great. The Yoel Romero
Yeah,
fight.
hey, for you guys that are gonna be watching, come on by for that fight.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the.
We're
shop
gonna have
open.
it right here at the barber shop. We got 3 screens. We're gonna have, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say what we're gonna have, but we're gonna have some water, you know, and
water.
some soda. Come on by.
Yeah, come on by.
Yeah,
we know. You know, it's great because we get these big events. We do them here, and we
Yeah.
have like 20 people, 30
Yes,
people come
if
in
it's
and hang out.
when it's big event, we coming by, so everybody's more welcome to come. And I am
Yeah.
excited just like you because it's gonna be a huge fight.
Yeah, it's gonna
prediction.
Oh yeah,
Angel?
my boy Adesanya.
Adesanya.
Yeah, my boy Adesanya.
How? What round and how?
I want to say decision.
Decision. Really?
Yeah,
I you
I
know
want to
what?
say decision because it's gonna be
I'm
tough.
gonna
Okay.
It's gonna be tough for Adesanya to literally knock this guy out.
I'm
Right.
gonna defer to the winner. And the reason I say that is because look, man, Adesanya's a talented kid,
Mm-hmm.
Super.
but Yoel Romero's a fucking tank.
Yeah.
The guy's a fucking tank.
He's an animal.
He isn't. He's not just a UFC fighter. He is an athlete. You see, and
world medalist.
and this is why for me to call it
actually,
right now,
Olympic, sorry.
I'd have to see like the trainings and see how they're
Right.
going along in their
You want to
trainings
see a little more before you.
before I decide to call it now.
Do you see this dude
Look.
swinging sledgehammer with both hands?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you know when you
That's why I'm not calling it right now.
when you have these big super fights, like for example Khabib and McGregor, people like, here's how it's gonna go, this way or that way. With these two guys, you can't really say it's gonna go this way or that way.
I mean, I still pick my boy Adesanya.
It's not even stylistically. You know what I mean? These guys are
Yeah.
just great athletes.
I like my boy. I still like my boy Adesanya in decision.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see about that, bro.
Yep.
Hey, this
Excited. A lot of good
I'm
fights
excited.
that night. You got
Yeah,
one.
I'm in.
March. Yeah, I'm in. I'll be here.
We'll be
So,
here. Hey, we may even
you
do a
already
little
know.
bit of videos here and there so you can see what goes on.
Exactly, guys. So stay posted. Once again, welcome for another podcast, another episode of The Barber, That Guy. And this time, whoever stops by was Mr. Jim, a.k.a. Dimitrios from Sparta.
Yes.
Sparta!